Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick 14 of my favorite power trio bands. We're doing this each and every day during the month of July, 31 days of July. 31 of my favorite power trios. Three guys or girls, all right? Someone asked the other day. It's like, well, I can't believe you're just limiting this to men. I'm like, I'm not. Guys is just a general term. Guys, people, right? Three people, okay? Could be any sex. Doesn't matter. But three. Count them three. 1, 2, 3. Could be bass, drums, guitar. Could be bass, drums, and keyboards. Keyboards, guitar, drums, whatever the combination. At least for an album or a couple of albums. Some of these bands also may have had additional members at some time. But for a chunk of their career, they had just three guys. Three people. Putting together some cool music, very powerful, right? This particular band, instrumental band, all instrumental band. They debuted in 1984. They've had, for the most part during their career, it's three guys, but I'm going to talk a little bit about two separate lineups here today. Talking about the Steve Morse Band. Right, one of the great instrumental power trios, debuted in 1984 with the introduction, which was basically Steve Morse, of course, guitarist from the Dixie Dregs, now been in Deep Purple for many, many years, with Rod Morgenstein, also from the Dixie Dregs, and Jerry Peake on bass. This was the lineup for the first iteration of the Steve Morse Band. Right, they're quite young, 1984, a long time ago. Terrific album, Cruise Missile, General Lee, the title track, the introduction, man, On the Pipe, Huron River Blues, good mix of kind of like rock and fusion and country, bluegrass, classical. Steve Morse Band, the Dixie Dregs, always played this music. It's kind of like defied categorization. But the introduction was the introduction to the Steve Morse Band. But then, of course, with Southern Steel, you had the new configuration, which was Dave LaRue on bass and Van Romain on drums. That would remain the classic and be the classic lineup of the Steve Morse Band for many, many years. And here we get a little less of the eclecticism of the early Steve Morse Band, which, was kind of like an extension of the Dixie Dregs minus the violin and the keyboards, obviously. And here a little more of like an instrumental rock outfit, but they still did do little bits of classical and little bits of country bluegrass at times, but a little more streamlined, I think, especially with the songwriting. But here, Cut to the Chase, Simple Simon, the title track, Southern Steel, really, really great. My personal favorite album from the Steve Morse Band is Coast to Coast. All right, so moving into the 90s, obviously, user-friendly. Collateral Damage is absolutely tremendous. There's just some face-melting arrangements on here. Some amazing bass and guitar things going on between Dave and Steve. Just amazing stuff. Long Lost Runaway Train, The Z, Cabin Fever, Flat Baroque. Lots of really great stuff on here. Steve Morse, such a tremendous guitar player and composer. I think that, He's been playing in one of my favorite bands of all time for many, many years, Deep Purple, and I'm so happy he got that gig, and he's been doing tremendous in that band. But I think if you really want to hear all of the different facets of Steve Morse's repertoire, as far as his guitar playing and composing skills, you really need to dive into the Steve Morse Band albums and the Dixie Dregs albums to just find out what a great all-around guitar player he is. I mean, there's a reason why he won Best Guitarist in Guitar Player magazine for so many years that he automatically got moved into like their Hall of Fame there, right? You can't win anymore, Steve. You won too many times, because the guy can do everything and anything. That fast alternate picking style he has, but the ability to incorporate classical and rock and jazz and country styles all into one, just amazing stuff. Can play really fast stuff, can play more tender things. He can, riff out with the best of them. He can blaze. I mean, just the guy can do no wrong in my book, Steve Morse. Incredible guitar player. And, of course, another one of my favorite albums is Structural Damage. They have a whole bunch of other albums, but these are probably my favorites. And, again, if you want to check out some stuff from here, definitely go. Barbary Coast is terrific. Nice, great melodies in a lot of these songs. Sacred Ground is really, really good. Rally Cry, nice fiery rocker. Just really, just bass, drums, and guitar. No vocals. And lots of great melodies. Lots of, these guys, they can shred, but they don't overdo it on that account. The Steve Morse Band, I always found, was more about the song structures and the melodies and things like that. Yeah, we're going to show you we can play in solo and things like that, but they don't never went overboard with it, right? So that's one of the things I really liked about the Steve Morse Band. And the music sounds very kind of like American, right? It's just very grounded in lots of musical themes that we see here in this country, which I always really dug. And that's just Steve Morse, right? That's what he's all about. So there you have it. That's my pick, my power trio pick for today. Number 14 is the Steve Morse Band. I can't go wrong with any of these albums. If you haven't heard them, I highly recommend them. And let us know what you think of Steve Morse Band in the comments below. I've seen many people picking them so far this month, so that's good to see. But also, let's see your pick for today at pick number 14. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All together, all the damn time, right? So stay tuned tomorrow for pick number 13. And lots more stuff happening this week on the channel. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. You don't want to miss anything. And also, please consider making a channel donation. The link is below to our Ko-Fi page, and we've also got our merch page below, too, where you can get all sorts of cool Sea Tranquility shirts and gear and things like that. So I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Tune in tomorrow for another pick on my top power trio bands here in the month of July. Till then, have a good one. Bye-bye.